Very much, guys. Reason Gaming taking game one here. Time to talk it through with our analysts, and honestly, a lot to learn from that first game. What did you make of the draft starting off first, Deficio?
So the casters just talked about giving Aurelia over to Coupon. Probably wasn't the smartest idea, seeing as he's super good on this champion here. And the funny point was, I know the tactic for them was we give Aurelia, and then we lane swap on him to try and shut him down early on here. But what ended up happening for Faculty was they completely messed up the start of the lane swap. First of all, they didn't freeze the top wave, and you don't want to push it into the Aurelia unless you have your top laner, you have your jungler on the top side of the map, then to go and actually dive the Aurelia or push her away from the tower to deny her all the farm. That didn't happen because Gnar was standing in the bottom lane from the start. Pantheon was doing his blue buff, then he ran down to his red buff, which obviously is already gone because Reason Gaming can just invade. You have the entire bottom side of the map belonging to Reason Gaming here. They didn't invade on the enemy red buff either from the start, which is what you want to do to at least make sure you don't get triple buffed in the start here. So you get their red buff, you get your own blue buff. And there were so many mistakes from them. Reason Gaming could really have capitalized on it, but they didn't actually. So they actually let Aurelia get all the farm here, and they let Gnar farm in the bottom lane. All in all, the early game was a bit of a mess. But the idea was to lane over on Aurelia, shut it down. It didn't happen because they ended up pushing the lane.
Yeah, I'm not a fan at all of this lane swap here. Super late, not organized, no deep wards level 1. Usually when you lane swap, as Deficio said, you basically, instead of having the bottom side, the bottom and the top side of the map going to each team, basically it becomes a version of the left side goes to one team, the right side goes to another team. Didn't happen. 1/4 went to Faculty here. They were late to lane and started pushing. Sona's only good if she can harass, but if she harasses, she pushes the lane. And then right when the wave hit the tower, she disappeared. Didn't zone Aurelia off, and Aurelia got all that free farm, and it just didn't work out. Really sloppy game. Later in the game as well, there was an instance where they went for a dragon. So Reason Gaming did it really well. They warded about 6 wards around the dragon, TP'd bottom, got a kill, killed the AD carry, went to the river, killed the Scuttle Crab, and they based. And then, yeah, they got ganked in mid, lost their mid laner, and lost the dragon anyway. So very, very sloppy game from both teams.
It was just super weird. They didn't manage to punish each other properly. Again, Reason Gaming in the lane swap could have walked down bottom lane with the Alistar and their own jungler and just killed the Gnar, or force him away at least so he doesn't get free farm. They're like, nah, let him farm. We're gonna walk around and do nothing instead. And it was just super weird in the first 15 minutes.
Yeah, but at the end, the Reason did pull down, and I have to say, we were talking about jungle pressure. They were able to put down the pressure, catch Sona out. Libic was roaming, so they were making the play, so it's probably just a little fine-tuning that they will need in those fights. Turning our attention to the mid lane, you know we were looking at Purified. Yes, it didn't really turn out. It's a skill matchup, but you do have to feel that Ahri has to do a little bit more.
See, what worries me the most for Faculty is that they have no synergy when it comes to using big ultimates together. We saw it yesterday. Every game they would use one ultimate. Didn't work out. Then while the was on cooldown, they would blow another one. Same here. Pantheon and Ahri dropping should be a kill. Pantheon should drop behind the middle laner. Right when the circle appears, Ahri comes into the frame, basically zones him into that AoE effect, and he can't escape. What ended up happening is Pantheon would either ulti early or late, or not in the right position. Ahri would engage too early. There was no synergy, and they didn't get any kills. And if you don't get any kills on Pantheon Ahri, then well, you're just doing it wrong.
Yeah, and in Faculty as well, they don't manage to actually pre-plan anything. They just walk into an area, say, okay, dragon is up, let's start trying to fight for it. The problem is they're running a comp when you have Sona and Ahri, where you want people to engage on you, and then you land your Sona ulti, you land your charm, and that's the way you do it. But you need to be in that area, you need to have the vision control to set up these picks. They don't, they just walk in, every single team fight, Libic goes in, pops the ulti on Alistar, and Mountain on Sona is like, okay, I'm just gonna ult this Alistar, which does nothing. The backline Celabar was like 8-0 on Israel, nobody could ever touch him. I don't understand why you're picking a comp which relies on you setting up the plays first, getting the vision control when you are playing so passive and you're constantly behind. It simply just, it doesn't work for them. They have to go for some bruiser type comp, maybe like some hard engage going in. Otherwise, they can never find any fights because obvious on this Pantheon, his ultis, again, you just talked about it, they were not good enough throughout the entire game.
Yeah, exactly, but it does make you wonder if you have a Pantheon of which you should be able to engage and just kill someone, what do you have to pick in the end to get there? Well, we will see in our next game. I do want to, you mentioned it as well, Celabar having a fantastic game on Ezreal, really stepping up and carrying for Reason. We will see how that carries on to the next game. We're going to take a short break, but we'll be right back with Game 2